This weekend. talkSPORT 2 going to be live at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, bringing you exclusive commentary of the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Chicago Bears. All the build-up, exclusive interviews from 2 p.m. on Sunday. Ahead of kick-off with the former Pittsburgh Steelers tight end Christian Scott and Williamson, part of the commentary team. You'll be able to see if the team, if you head to our talkSPORT Endzone YouTube channel, or the guys will be there in glorious Technicolor, and they'll be hosting a live watch-along from the stadium with plenty of extra content. So that's the Jags versus the Bears. talkSPORT 2 this Sunday afternoon from 2. Here to talk about that, reflect on last night's game. In his regular Friday slot is the former NFL star, Jason Bell. Hi, Jason.
What's going on, fellas? Great to be with you.
Yeah, good to talk to you again.
I'm excited about Jacksonville being in town because they won last week for the first time for over 300 days. And I was watching it live on Red Zone, and I've written, Jacksonville finally win a game. Or do they? Oh, no, they've blown it again. No, they haven't. One of those, wasn't it?
I mean, they almost let them back in. You're right about that. But you got to feel very hopeful for them because their quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, looked good. And that was the key. He looked like he was in rhythm. He made some big-time throws. He's got a great receiver, Brian Thomas Jr. This guy's going to be a superstar. And you want to see an offense kind of clicking on all cylinders. And that's how they look. So we're going to have an exciting game because of that. We were questioning whether Trevor Lawrence can turn the corner. And if he plays like last week, he has. And this offense can be very competitive.
I suppose they're used to playing in London, Jacksonville, aren't they? Spend a lot of time here, whether it's at Tottenham or at Wembley. I don't know if that feeds into anything at all, Jason.
Get themselves prepared. They've been here before. So when they come out, it's like a home game type of environment. And these are real advantages in the NFL. When other teams, a lot of players, maybe it's their first time. So they're looking up in the crowd. They're in awe of the whole thing. But Jacksonville is locked in because they've done it before. And even when they're struggling as a team, they come over here and they seem to flip their season around and get it right. This is a pivotal moment for them throughout the season. So I want to see if they can kind of change the direction of this franchise.
And, I mean, they're here for 2 weeks, which is sort of unusual. What about Caleb Williams of the Bears? Was he the number one draft pick? He certainly was a very high draft pick, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, and he is a superstar. When you see him play, even if it's your first time watching, I just want you to look at this guy when he's moving, especially running out of the pocket and the way he throws. It's probably one of the most strongest arms in the NFL when on the move. The guy can do it all. He can make all the big plays. He's got a lot of pressure on him because they talked about him being a generational talent, but he had a great game last week also. So both these quarterbacks are playing really well. The team is believing in them, and both first picks. So let's see who comes to shine.
We've already had a game overnight, didn't we? 49ers beat the Seahawks. What did you make of that, Jason?
Well, that's a divisional battle. They always play each other tough. And what I wanted to see was if the 49ers can kind of fix some things on offense, and they did. They were more efficient in the red zone, which was key. Seattle really started this season off fast, but we kind of questioned the opponents they played. I feel like they still got a good team. It's just hard. They haven't totally turned the corner because when they face great teams like the 49ers, they're coming up short. But it was a great battle, and those two always go at it.
Last weekend, Houston were 3-1, Buffalo were 3-1, and it was a pretty tight game. Went down to a 59-yard field goal as time expired. That's a sort of classic NFL ending, I think.
Oh, without a doubt, man. And all these games are so competitive, and kicking really matters this season. And it's amazing these guys are knocking these long field goals in, like with zero hesitation. A great improvement in the kicking game.
It's true, because for years, the NFL kicking record was 63 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And it never changed. I think it was Tom Dempsey or something. He had a club foot, this guy.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was an amazing kicker. But they're getting nearer and nearer, aren't they, to these sort of, on a more regular basis.
It's almost like it's automatic. It's crazy, but it's why we evaluate these coaching decisions because with such scrutiny, because you do not want to give up those opportunities. So if you go for it on 4th and short and you could have kicked a field goal and you lose by 3 points, well, it's on you as a head coach.
There was a bit of a contentious moment in last night's game, I see. There was something that was reviewed. There was an incident reviewed in the game, and I think the decision stayed as it was. But Amazon Prime had better angles, and in the
really?
studio they were able to say that shouldn't have been allowed. I don't understand completely the intricacies, Jason, but it's never good, wasn't it, when the TV companies have got better angles than the officials?
So this is the argument they're constantly having when it comes to officiating, because we as viewers can see everything. So we have the advantage, and we're like, we don't see the human error in it. So yes, this is a dispute that's always happening when it comes to referees, because they're there. They don't have the technology that we have at home.
It's the same thing that was happening in soccer before we had VAR, wasn't it? I mean, everybody would watch the TV pictures and see infringements and stuff that wasn't picked up. So, it's never good when you've got an advantage over the officials. So, in terms of the games at the weekend, Jason, which ones take your eye?
I'm looking forward to Detroit playing against the Cowboys. This should be a battle. I want to see these two teams go at it. I feel like Detroit could be the best team in the NFC. So I want to see what happens, man. It's hard to play down there in Dallas. If they can go out there and come out with a win, this is a team everybody should be worried about.
Good stuff. We will catch up with you next week. Thanks very much, Jason.
All right, fellas. Appreciate it.
Former NFL star there, Jason Bell. As we said, talkSPORT 2 from 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Chicago Bears, and you'll get it all, the build-up and the game itself and more.